A major PlayStation 4 horror title has just been revealed by Frictional Games, the guys that brought you Amnesia: The Dark Descent as well as Soma. Their next game is a return to Amnesia with Amnesia Rebirth. We've got all the details on that. Also, you can play an awesome PS4 game free right now, so you'll definitely want to check that out. And we have some updates on Resident Evil 3 and the gameplay that game is going to be offering come early April. We'll talk that at the end of this video, but Frictional Games today has officially announced Amnesia Rebirth, and it's coming this year, autumn 2020. They put out a post noting 10 years ago, Amnesia: The Dark Descent heralded a new generation of horror. 5 years ago, Soma took us to fresh depths of terror. Now steel yourself for the next nightmare as we at Frictional Games prepare to release Amnesia Rebirth this autumn, a new story set in the world of Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Rebirth represents yet another evolutionary leap for Frictional Games, challenging players to remain calm in the face of an unimaginable terror. Get a glimpse of what's to come in today's announcement trailer and the first in-game images. Amnesia Rebirth is a new descent into darkness in the iconic Amnesia series set in the desolate landscape of the Algerian desert. The game will focus on a new character, Tassi Tranian, as she sets out on a harrowing journey through devastation and despair, personal terror, and pain while exploring the limits of human resilience. You can't let out a breath. The creature is only inches away, its sole purpose to feed off your terror, and so you can crouch in the dark, trying to stop the fear rising, trying to silence what lies within you. Retracing Tassi's journey and pulling together the fragments of a shattered past will be the only chance to survive the pitiless horror that threatens to devour you. Time is against you, still you must continue step by step, knowing that if you fail, you'll lose everything. Amnesia Rebirth is gonna have a quick turnaround. It will be out this autumn. A Steam page is up right now. If you do want to pick up the game on Steam, you can wishlist it. No pre-order up yet, but there is a significant more amount of information on the Steam page that I want to let you guys know. It notes, you can't let out a breath. The creature is only inches away, its sole purpose to feed off your terror. And so you crouch in the dark, trying to stop fear rising, trying to silence what lies within you. I know you, I know what you're capable of. In Amnesia Rebirth, you are Tassi Trianon. Waking up deep in the desert of Algeria, days have passed. Where have you been? What did you do? Where are the others? Retrace your journey, pull together the fragments of your shattered past. It is your only chance to survive the horror that threatens to devour you. Do not allow yourself anger, do not allow yourself to fear. Time is against you. Step into Tassi's shoe and guide her through her personal terror and pain. While you struggle to make your way through a desolate landscape, you must also struggle with your hopes, fears, and bitter regrets, and still you must continue step by step, knowing that if you fail, you'll lose everything. It's a first-person narrative horror experience. Explore environments and uncover their histories, overcome puzzles that stand in your way, carefully manage your limited resources, both physical and mental, and encounter horrific creatures, and use your wits and understanding of the world to escape them. Maybe some of you guys aren't as familiar with Frictional Games as I am, however, their games are absolutely phenomenal. If you want quality horror games that are really invoking that essence of horror, they just do a great job with their games. Go back and play titles like Penumbra that came out back in the mid-2000s. Go and play Amnesia: The Dark Descent. That was a fantastic game and one of the best received horror titles of all time, having an overwhelmingly positive reception on Steam with north of 12,000 user reviews and 85 on Metacritic, and it's looked back upon as one of the most iconic horror games of all time. And then, of course, a game that I thought was absolutely tremendous was Soma. Soma was a game that maybe a lot of you guys missed out on for whatever reason. It did come out all the way back in 2015, so relatively early in the PlayStation 4's life. However, Soma was such a great game, and it had that atmosphere that so many games wish they could build, but Soma does it at a level even better than a lot of other games. A lot of other games, like a Metro or even a Plague Tale Innocence, I tout how amazing atmospheres they have, and all credit to them. They have fantastic atmospheres. Soma is a game that really builds upon that idea of having a world that absorbs you completely and engages the hell out of you, and I just thought that game was phenomenal. From a horror gaming standpoint, being light on the gameplay, making you feel a little bit weaker, it really invokes all of the emotions that a horror game should be going for, and that's why I am really excited about Amnesia Rebirth, because now you're talking about Frictional Games where they have experience from creating Soma. They've created iconic horror experiences like Amnesia, and they're taking all of that expertise, they're taking all of their experience, and they're putting it into Amnesia Rebirth, and this has potential to be their best game yet, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it will be, based on what I'm seeing thus far. Amnesia Rebirth is shaping up very, very nicely. If you're a fan of horror games, definitely want to keep on your radar. It is coming out fall of this year, only listed for PC and PlayStation 4, so that is going to be interesting how all of that comes together, and if it does end up being a PlayStation 5 title as well, we'll see how that turns out. Shouldn't be a big deal since PS5 should be able to play PS4 games backwards compatibility, so all should be fine in that regard, but nonetheless, Amnesia Rebirth is coming later in 2020. Alright, moving on from that, I do want to note, if you have a PlayStation 4, which if you're watching this channel, you probably do, Mortal Kombat 11's free trial weekend is alive in time for the final combat. NetherRealm Studios is hosting a free trial weekend for Mortal Kombat 11, as outlined by PlayStation Lifestyle. The trial period kicked off yesterday on the PS4 and Xbox One console. It comes to an end early next week on Monday, March 9th, and better yet, every character currently on the MK11 roster is available to play during this period. This includes all of the title's guest fighters, even the recently released Joker, which was a very, very welcome addition to the game. The studio announced news of the free trial weekend in the following post on the Mortal Kombat Twitter page, noting, "We want you to join on Mortal Kombat on PlayStation and Xbox. Get a taste of all the MK11 combatants thus far during our free trial weekend starting today. This trial perfectly aligns with the franchise's forthcoming Final Combat 2020 tournament, which begins this weekend on Saturday, March 7th. Surely scheduling of the free weekend was no accident, and they're trying to get all the good press that they can, and a lot of attention is going to be on Mortal Kombat right now anyway. NetherRealm's latest Spawn tease probably wasn't coincidental either. Following the free weekend announcement, MK's Twitter account posted a 10-second clip of Spawn, whose MK design was recently unveiled, courtesy of McFarlane Toys. Admittedly, there's not much to see apart from his glowing green eyes. It still serves as a hint of what's to come, though, considering the character will officially be unveiled during this weekend's Final Combat tournament. Fighting game competition and Spawn's gameplay reveal is not all Mortal Kombat fans have to look forward to over the weekend. During Final Combat, NetherRealm also plans to unleash a red band trailer for Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge, the animated film set to launch this spring. So definitely give MK11 a look, especially with all of the characters unlocked. Try it out with a couple of friends, see how you like it. I think it's one of the best fighting games this generation, and that does say a lot given the fact that fighting games have been on fire this generation, but nonetheless, MK11 has been a standout, so definitely would give that a shout and do give that a look. Alright, and lastly, I do want to note Resident Evil 3 has far more Raccoon City exploration, and dodging in the game makes it feel more like an action game. Resident Evil 3 had a new interview with Xbox The Official Magazine, April 2020 issue, and RE3 producer Peter Fabiano explained that fans of the original game will find a much bigger emphasis on exploring Raccoon City in this remake. Noting you can explore a lot more of Raccoon City this time. We've built it from the ground up. There is some reference here and there to the original, but it is Raccoon City reimagined. You can go into certain shops and see things you wouldn't have been able to see before. It's not an open world game, don't get me wrong, but you can explore a lot more. Hopefully fans of the original will be very impressed by the reimagined Raccoon City. It's way more fleshed out. There's a huge attention to detail. You'll notice posters throughout the city and all of these little homages to the 90s and 80s. These little touches we put in there. I think they're really fun for someone who played the original and grew up during that period, and of course, even for newcomers, it's a little fun throwback too. The Resident Evil 3 producer also wanted to highlight the enhanced dodge move available in RE3, which makes it more akin to an action game without taking away the survival horror elements. Noting in the original we had the dodge mechanic, and in this one we have the quick step as well as the perfect dodge, so you can see that has enhanced the action, so you can play it a lot more along the lines of an action game if you like. But through and through, it's a survival horror game. I think people will have fun with the new mechanics that are driving it towards action detail, but it is still survival horror, and we've tried to keep true to the essence and true to the original as well. The original was a step forward in terms of action, but it was survival horror. Resident Evil 3 is coming out in a stacked month in April. We've got RE3, and that's not the only major remake. We've also got Final Fantasy VII Remake, of course, so if you are a fan of the PlayStation 1, man, April's gonna have a lot of cool games and a lot of nostalgic titles. However, in the case of both of those games, yes, nostalgia might be a driving factor for a lot of the allure in those games, but they are ultimately being compelling games for a 2020 audience. RE3 making a lot of changes to its world and even making some gameplay modifications so it's a more engaging title than what was available in 99 for RE3, 97 for Final Fantasy VII as well. But Resident Evil 3 shaping up very well, and once again, Capcom is on the ball and on the money in terms of these major game releases. They're putting out a lot of high quality stuff, and Resident Evil 3 is definitely going to add to the pile of what they're going to offer in 2020. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, Frictional Games has announced Amnesia Rebirth. That'll be coming in autumn of 2020. 2020. Can't wait for that. I think that's going to be an awesome horror game, and you guys should definitely have your eyes on that. Mortal Kombat 11's free trial weekend is live right now. You can enjoy it with all of the characters unlocked, so definitely try that out with a couple of friends. You're going to have a great time. And Resident Evil 3 has far more Raccoon City exploration this time around, and dodge makes it feel more like an action game. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.